Thank you very much.
I'm sorry I'm late. This radio, it wasn't working.
It's not working, Ruby. It's going to be on any minute.
It's working. The battery went dead, and I went out to buy one, and the store was closed. I had to walk another block down.
We don't want to miss it.
We got it? Okay.
Dr. Cunningham called.
Well, you were right. The early bird breakfast is cafeteria. Yes.
Yeah, what did I tell you? I'm just sorry we didn't have time to eat at the hotel.
Whose fault was that?
Are you complaining?
No.
You sure you don't want to take the car?
No, that's all right. I'll just get a cab back to the hotel when I'm finished with my errands.
All right. Bobby, did you check me in? Shh. Sorry. What are we listening to?
And now we bring you live coverage of the press conference from the soon-to-be-opened Greenwood Building Casino, where Luke Spencer is expected to announce his candidacy for mayor.
Have I told you lately how ravishing and beautiful you are?
4 minutes ago, before the commercial.
Well, I guess I better make up for that.
The mayoral seat has been uncontested till now. Today's press conference comes as a surprise to City Hall. Luke Spencer will run his race on 2 major platforms.
Luke? For mayor?
Did you know he was running?
No, I didn't. It's the first I've heard of it. Legalized gambling. He knows I'm against it.
Greenwood Building Casino.
Of course, I expect opposition to gambling. I would be very surprised if we didn't get to relax from the idea.
Come on.
We want to ask you.
Now, come on, guys. Now, listen, if Luke ran on a platform of no taxes, free food, and a car in every garage, a new car at that, there'd still be somebody out there that wouldn't like it.
But many people feel that gambling could hurt Port Charles.
I'm going to prove just the opposite. Legalized gambling would be a real economic boon to this community.
You really intend to run on that platform?
Not only do I intend to run on that platform, I intend to win with it.
Associate gambling with the underworld. Now, could this possibly hurt your chances in the election?
There is no criminal element involved in our operation. We are completely clean.
But the possibility of underworld involvement still exists.
Gentlemen, I have nothing to hide. You can check my record. You will see that at certain times in my life, I have understood the workings on either side of the law. You will also see that any criminal who tangled with me ended up on the wrong side of a prison gate.
What political experience do you have?
None.
Then what qualifies you for this job?
Life. I got a barrel full of life. Now, what is a politician anyway, or what should a politician be? He should be a man who understands life. He should be a man who understands the people, who understands their wants, their needs, their moods, hopefully before they have to ask for it. He should be a man who has his finger on the pulse of the people of the city that he represents. And he should be a man who can fight. I know I can fight. I would like the opportunity to fight for the people of this community.
Yes, but doesn't a politician with experience have contacts acquired already that can help him get those things?
I make friends easily, Steve. Actually, when you look at the records of politicians in the past, you find that Eisenhower had no political experience. He knew strategy. He knew how to get the job done. I plan to do the same.
You're manager of this casino. Don't you consider that a conflict of interest?
Not at all.
Oh, come on.
Yes, now, wait a minute, gentlemen, please, hold on for 1 second. In the first place, the casino only has a license to operate gambling temporarily. And it will be on the referendum, and the people will have a chance to vote on it for themselves if it's going to be a permanent operation.
Isn't that to your advantage financially?
Well, sure. It's also to the advantage of every person living in Port Charles. With the added tax revenues generated from gambling, we can finance low-cost housing for the elderly, for the low-income families. We can also generate construction. Construction means work. Gentlemen, this is going to benefit everyone in this town right across the board.
Well, you still can't be the manager of a casino and mayor.
Exactly, and that's why, if I'm elected, I certainly plan to divest myself of all personal interests.
You mean when you're elected, Luke?
Yeah. Police Commissioner Scorpio is on record as being opposed to legalized gambling.
That is correct.
Well, don't you think that most people will listen to his opinion on this issue?
I respect the people of this town enough to believe that they will listen to both sides of the question and will form their own opinions. I also feel that it's a controversial issue, just as you do, just as most people in this town feel. I would like to prove to the people of this city that gambling is going to work for them and to their advantage.
Isn't your determination to have gambling in Port Charles more of a personal vendetta than it is a political issue?
What do you mean?
I mean,
Commissioner Scorpio, your best friend at one time, married your girlfriend?
Now, wait a minute. That's irrelevant.
DL, if you don't mind, I would very much like to address this question. Jeff, my personal life in this town has never been a secret. I've never tried to hide anything. I'm not entirely proud of some of the things that I've done, but like I said, I've never tried to hide them either. You can open my closet any time, pal. You won't find any skeletons in there.
you're evading the question, Mr. Spencer.
I am running for mayor for one personal reason only. I would like very much to serve the people of this community.
Boy from waterfront makes good, is that it?
That's part of it. I'm proud I was raised on the waterfront. I'm proud of the people who live there. And while our police commissioner, I'm sure, is a fine crime fighter, I feel that when it comes to the interests of the people of this town, I understand them far better than someone raised in Australia. I understand the people of this town. I would like very much to serve them.
Will you continue to work as manager here while you run your campaign?
Oh, certainly. As a matter of fact, our opening is next Friday night. You're all invited. That includes you, Frank. Even you, Jeff. My primary concern is for the good of the people of this city. I'll do my best during the campaign to demonstrate that to them, and I hope that come election day, they'll cast their votes for me. Now, gentlemen, if you don't have any more questions...
Good of the people.
What a load of... I mean, he knows that gambling is the worst possible thing that can happen to poor Charles. I don't believe this guy can go out of his way this far to spite me. All the trouble I went to get rid of the organization and oust the mob. And what's this irresponsible jerk want to do? Give him a limo ride back into town again. He's determined to make life as difficult as possible for me. Oh, don't you have anything to say?
I don't know what to say.
Well, you must have an opinion on all of this.
It all comes as a bit of a surprise.
Ah, tell me about it. He must have just decided to do this, otherwise I would have heard rumblings about it downtown. Well?
Well, what?
Well, what do you think about all of this?
I don't know very much about politics.
It's not just to do with politics.
Maybe not. Perhaps that's why it's better if I just keep quiet and I don't say anything.
You mean to say you support him on all of this?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, I have plenty to say. And I intend to make sure that one Luke Spencer hears every bloody word.
Dynamite. I am so proud of him. He sounded like an old pro.
They sure went after him on a gambling issue, didn't they?
Yeah, but did you hear him handle those reporters?
Well, got a little sticky with that Robert and Holly entrance, I thought.
Yeah, but Luke's smart, and besides, we don't have any skeletons in our closet, do we, Ruby?
That's right. Well, are you two going to vote for him?
Well, I'm not even registered in Port Charles yet.
Well, Celia, get with it. What about you, Grant?
Well, hey, Bobby, it's a little too soon for me to make up my mind.
Newlyweds, you can't get a straight answer out of them.
All right. Well, in that case, let's just say that I always vote for the best qualified candidate.
Well, in that case, I'll take it as a yes for Luke.
Right.
Well, I'd better get going. Now, you will remember dinner at the retirement.
Remember? How could I forget? You've done everything but pin a note to my chest.
Well, I just want to make sure we have a very nice, quiet evening. Alone.
Don't you worry, darling. I'll get home in time to change, and then it's going to be just you and me.
Grant, where's Celia? How nice to see you.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you feeling?
It takes more than just a knock on the head to keep me down.
Good for you. Are you here for a checkup?
Yes. I hate to take time off from work, but the doctor insisted.
What doctor's that?
Dr. Oh, wait a moment. I wrote his name down. Dr. Powell.
Powell.
It's a fairly simple name. You'd think I could remember it.
Well, you've got so many facts and figures in your head. I'm not surprised you don't have any room for anything else.
Once an absent-minded professor, always an absent-minded professor.
Oh, nonsense. You're always kidding yourself about that absent-mindedness. And yet somehow you manage to remember all those equations and who knows how many combinations for your security locks.
Equations are easy. I write them down. Combination locks are another matter. I need a trick for that.
I wish you'd tell me. I can never remember the numbers I made up.
Well, it's very easy. I simply remember important dates in my life. That way, I know I won't forget.
Oh, now that's a good idea. I think I'll try that.
Well, I'd better get to my appointment.
Professor, why don't you, if you have time later, why don't you drop in and say hello?
Why, actually, I was going to ask you to drop in on me.
Oh?
Yes, I can't work late anymore for a while. Doctor's orders. Why don't you pick me up at the lab when you're through here and we could have a game of chess, if you have the time?
Are you kidding? I'll make the time. There's nothing I'd like better.
Good, good. Well, we'll see you later then. Goodbye, Celia.
Bye.
But Doctor, you're headed up.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, don't forget, I've got a little bit of a rematch coming.
Agree to play chess with him right after we were talking about having dinner at the Versailles room.
How could I possibly say no?
Seems like you can't say no to anybody but me. You can just call him back and cancel.
I can't do that.
Why not?
Well, Celia, he's a very sweet old man.
Yes, I'm sure he was young once, Grant, and newly married.
Darling.
He will understand.
He's gone through a very tough time lately. I'm very concerned about him.
He looked perfectly fine to me.
Well, of course he did, because he's too nice to let on his real feelings to anyone. He's very lonely and I think rather vulnerable right now.
I am concerned about him too, Grant, but can't it wait just one night? I really wanted to have dinner with you tonight.
Well, there's no reason why we can't.
Well, good.
Of course not. I'll call in and invite him to join us. I'm sure he'd love it.
Absolutely not, Grant. Ever since we've come back from that so-called honeymoon of ours, you've seen more of Gerald than you have of me.
That is not true.
It's true, Grant. You're either on the phone with him or you're at his office. And if you're not at his office, then you're at his apartment playing chess. Why don't you just get a room for him at the hotel?
See.
In fact, you should have married Dr. Gerald instead of me.
Darling, would you calm down? We're going to be spending the rest of our lives together. You're turning it into a big issue.
And it looks like we're going to be spending the rest of our lives with Dr. Gerald as well.
We're talking about one lousy dinner.
No, forget the dinner, Grant. I am not interested in becoming part of a threesome. If Dr. Gerald is so very interesting to you, then you just go ahead and have dinner with him. But don't expect a warm welcome when you get home. Dr. Putnam.
Yes.
When you get a moment, I would like to discuss a new case with you, please.
Certainly.
Later, in the therapy room.
Natalie.
In the therapy room.
Call the lab on, too. Mr. Mayor, you get the seat of honor. Right next to me, John, and I was so proud of you.
Oh, yeah? How'd it sound, okay?
You were gorgeous.
No, I said how'd it sound.
Well, you sounded just like a politician.
Oh, ain't that a shame.
You were great, and you know it.
Hey, listen, you did real good.
Oh, you were great. I never knew anybody on TV.
Thanks, Shirley.
Oh, you know, I really like what you said about being from the waterfront. It's about time somebody from around here made it to the big time.
Hey, now, hold on, baby. We ain't in the big time yet.
Yeah, but you will. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, listen, Rose, how about breakfast all around? On Luke.
How about on you?
On me, right, that's what I said.
I think that worked off.
Coming right up.
No mystery meat for me, you know. I got a kind of quincy
Yes,
stomach,
I
you know
know.
what I'm saying? Hey, I thought I was going to see you at that casino.
Well, I was busy watching you.
You're great. Well, now, wait a minute. I'm not going to ask you where you were watching. It doesn't matter.
Kelly. Yeah, he's right here. Wasn't he great? I know. Hold on just a second. Luke, Ruby, and Bobby.
Oh, all right. Hey, you two.
Luke, we're so proud of you.
Oh, me too. I listened to it on the radio and I was so nervous I chewed my nails off.
They'll grow back.
What happens now?
Well, I guess more of the same.
Listen, honey, you're going to need campaign workers. You know those people trying to stuff envelopes and canvass around?
Have you got a campaign office yet?
The casino for now. Yes.
Well, you're going to need a lot of help, and Bobby and I are volunteering.
That's right. We want to help any way we can, anytime.
Well, thank you, you little cutie. That means a lot to me.
We're behind you 100%.
200%.
Hey, thanks. Listen, I got a lot of people over here at Rose's I'm kind of talking to. Can I stop by the hospital a little later on?
Make it our apartment and you're on.
You got it.
I love you, big brother.
Me too.
Well, of course you do. Bye.
Listen, a lot of other people called to congratulate you, too, including Blackie.
Yeah, what did he say?
He said you were way cool, man, way cool. He's going to see if he can get you to speak at the university in the fall.
Oh, I'd like that.
You know, Luke, I was just thinking of something. Since I am your roommate, I was wondering if I'm going to get to move into the mayor's mansion with you.
There goes the city budget for the first year.
Oh.
Hey, listen, look. Listen to me. Congratulations. You really handled yourself well this morning.
Oh, thanks, TL. It was a little more difficult than I anticipated.
Well, I tell you, I am really glad that it was you up there and not me, because I think I would have slugged that punk reporter if he would have asked me a question like that.
I know. You know, it's none of his business about your personal life.
Well, I'm afraid the reality is if you're going to jump into politics, your whole life is their business.
Yeah, but they should back off on something like that.
Well, hopefully, now that that question has been asked, we can get on to other issues and nobody else will bother us.
All right.
Well, I hope so.
There you are. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
I heard your press conference.
Yeah?
I was very impressed, Mr. Mayor.
Well, thank you very much.
I hate to tell you this, but I feel it's my duty to inform you you do have work to do at the casino.
Ah, the voice of reality.
Yeah. There is work to do, and we open in a week.
Yeah, talking of which, we're laying the floors down today, and we should be finished.
Today.
Should be finished. There's work to do. Son, get out of here.
No, just a minute. There's work to find. I gotta go job hunting today.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. I might know of a place. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I don't know if you're going to like the idea, but
where is it?
Well, I'll give you the address here. You may not like it, but check it out, will you?
I don't care as long as it's work.
All right.
I tell you what, you go and I'll meet you later at the Floating Rib, and you get the job and we'll celebrate.
Yeah, and what if I don't get the job?
You'll get it.
I'll get it.
Celebrate anyway.
Okay.
Good luck. Come on,
Bye.
let's go.
Hey, Rose! Rose!
Yeah?
We're going to have to 86 those breakfasts. This should take care of it. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, well,
Listen,
okay.
I'll be in my office if you need me.
Yeah, all right.
Good work.
Hey, thanks. I will see you a little later on. Well, thanks for blowing the party.
Who says I have?
Oh, that's right. We do have work to do, don't we?
That too.
Bye, Rose.
Natalie? If you have a minute, I'd like to discuss Mr. Hanson's post-operative therapy with you.
Certainly. That's all for today. You can get dressed now.
I have warned you about this before, Grant.
Hey, you're the one who wanted to see me.
You know what I'm talking about. That girl is causing trouble again.
I told you I can handle Celia.
It doesn't look that way. I heard her tirade, and I don't like it one bit.
All right, she's a bit spoiled.
And dangerous. What if she starts suspecting something? How is that going to affect our operation?
Admittedly, she can be an obstacle at times, but she may also prove to have been very helpful to us.
How?
She might just have provided me with a very important piece of information.
Are you involving her? You know that is forbidden, Grant.
Of course I'm not involving her. It was all done quite unintentionally on her part. However, she may have provided me with a clue to the outside combination lock in Gerald's office.
You got it?
No, not yet. But Gerald is very absent-minded. He was just telling Celia in the hall that the way he remembers combinations is by taking them from important dates.
Such as?
Such as important dates in his life. Now, we already know the combination to the drawer. I checked his medical chart, and sure enough, those numbers are exactly the same as his birth date.
We know that code already. How does this affect breaking the new code?
Simple logic. The outside combination lock is even more important. It protects the most important thing in his life, right?
The disc. Go on, Grant.
Now, then it stands to reason that the numbers in that combination would be chosen from an even more important date in his life, correct?
That could be one of any number of dates. That man has had a very long and very memorable life.
Yes, he has, but he's also very sentimental. Gerald adored his late wife. She encouraged him in his work. I'm willing to bet that the numbers in that combination are the same as his wedding anniversary.
Well, how are you going to ask him that without his becoming suspicious?
I'll do some research. It can't be that difficult to find.
Are you sure about this?
I'm almost positive. But once I have the date, I'll try it, and with any luck at all, it'll give me entry into the lab and access to the disc.
Well, I suppose it's worth a try. And you're going to have to try it as soon as possible.
I think I can get in there today.
How will you get Gerald out of the lab, Grant?
Gerald told me his doctor doesn't want him working too hard for the next few days. I may just be able to kill two birds with one stone. Darling, please don't hang up. I admit I was wrong. We should have dinner alone. Yes, just the two of us. However, I do have to work late. Not very. What I was thinking... Well, I thought that I could call as soon as I'm ready to leave, and then we could meet at the Floating Rib. So am I, love. I'll see you then.
What was that all about?
I have a plan.
Well, you would better. Because Gregory arrives any day, and he is going to want to see results.
Then he may just be in for a very pleasant surprise.
What did you think?
Nice legs.
I meant about her experience.
I'm too much of a gentleman to talk about anything but her legs.
Yeah, you're too much, all right. Good thing I'm conducting these interviews. Let's see, who's next? Oh, it's your friend Shirley.
Let me get out of here.
Why, she knows you're managing, doesn't she?
No, she doesn't, and I don't want to make her nervous.
Okay. Shirley? Hi.
Hi. Didn't I see you today at Kelly's?
Yeah, I'm Constance Townley.
Ah, you work here?
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I'm hiring the personnel.
Well, that's odd.
Why, don't I look old enough?
No, it's just I thought that Luke would probably mention to me that the job was with you.
Oh, well, must have slipped his mind. Look, why don't we sit down?
Now, this is a nice place.
Thank you. I don't remember. Did Luke tell you this was as a cocktail waitress?
No, he just said waitress, but I've had a lot of experience.
Doing cocktails is quite a bit different, you know.
But it couldn't be any harder than carrying a tray of hamburgers and french fries and pitchers of beer.
No, I suppose it couldn't, but, well, you are likely to get a lot of orders you're not familiar with.
I used to go out with a bartender. I know a lot about booze, and I learn quickly. I can do almost anything.
Are you willing to work topless?
What are you doing here?
This is Be Kind to Ladies from the Mountain Week. You're hired.
What? I don't get it.
Luke's the manager here.
You didn't tell me that.
Well, of course not. I'm a modest guy. I don't want to over-impress you.
Tricked me.
What's the matter? You don't want the job?
I want the job. I want it. I can't think of anybody I'd rather work with.
Now, that is the kind of employee I like.
Listen, I really don't have to go topless.
You prefer bottomless?
Stop it.
Good work.
Oh, that's great. Well, now that I got a job, I guess I can go, huh?
You sure can. Look, even though we open officially next week, I want to have a meeting beforehand, and I'm going to get everybody together, okay?
Okay.
What are you going to do, a little celebrating?
I am going to do a lot of celebrating. Where's this, the floating rib?
Floating rib, that's it, yeah.
That's where you'll find me. You're such a doll. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Terrific. Hey, you. I feel like a little celebrating myself.
I'd love to. But, unfortunately, we have another interview in about 10 minutes' time.
Cancel it. This is an important day. Why don't we make it memorable?
We could do inventory.
We could be nice to the boss.
But, Mr. Spencer, it's business hours.
I'm talking about business. I'm talking about unfinished business.
We have a little unfinished business of our own. I'd like to sort it out right now.